Imagine a small child sitting at a table. In front of them is a single fluffy marshmallow. A researcher offers a deal. You can eat this one marshmallow right now, or if you can wait for 15 minutes while I leave the room, you can have 2 marshmallows when I return. This is the famous Stanford marshmallow experiment. It perfectly captures a fundamental truth about human nature. We are all in some way that child staring at the marshmallow. Our brains are wired to want the immediate reward. The promise of a better future is often less powerful than the pleasure of the present moment. This isn't a sign of weakness or a lack of self-control. It is a feature of our biology, honed over thousands of years. Our ancestors lived in a world of immediate dangers and immediate opportunities. A piece of fruit found on a tree needed to be eaten now, not saved for a hypothetical future. Survival depended on responding to what was right in front of you. This created a strong preference in our brains for instant gratification. When we do something that feels good, our brain releases a chemical called dopamine. This chemical tells us, "That was good. Do it again." This feedback loop is powerful and fast, reinforcing behaviors that bring immediate pleasure. This ancient wiring is still very much active inside our modern skulls. Think about the last time you chose to scroll through social media instead of starting a big project. The tiny, immediate reward of a new post or a funny video felt more compelling than the distant satisfaction of completing the project. The same goes for choosing a sugary donut over a healthy salad. The donut offers an instant hit of flavor and energy, a clear and immediate reward. The salad offers long-term health, a reward so far in the future it can feel abstract and unreal. This is the constant battle we face. Understanding this core principle is the first step to changing our behavior. We are not fighting a battle against ourselves, but rather working with the brain we have. Instead of trying to force ourselves to have more willpower, we can be smarter about how we structure our habits. We can acknowledge our brain's desire for an immediate payoff and use that knowledge to our advantage. The goal is not to eliminate this desire, but to redirect it. We can learn to give our brains the little wins they crave, but for the behaviors that will serve us well in the long run. It's about making good habits feel good right now. Our brain can be thought of as having 2 competing systems. One is the emotional impulsive system that seeks immediate pleasure and avoids immediate pain. This is the part of you that hits the snooze button, orders the pizza, and procrastinates on your taxes. It lives entirely in the present moment, driven by feelings and instincts. The other system is the rational, planning part of your brain. This is the part that sets goals, understands long-term consequences, and makes plans for a better future. It knows that exercising today will make you healthier a year from now. It understands that saving money now will lead to financial security later. The conflict arises because the rewards for good habits and the consequences of bad habits are often delayed. When you skip a workout, the immediate consequence is comfort and free time. The negative impact on your health is so small and so far away that it's easy to ignore. Conversely, when you eat a piece of cake, the immediate reward is a delicious taste. The negative consequence, a tiny bit of weight gain, is invisible. Your brain's emotional system experiences the immediate pleasure of the cake and registers it as a success. The long-term cost is a problem for your future self to deal with. This creates a fundamental mismatch in habit formation. The costs of our good habits are felt in the present. The effort of going for a run is immediate. The boredom of studying a new language is immediate. The sacrifice of saving money is immediate. However, the rewards for these actions are all delayed. You won't see the results of one workout, one study session, or one saved dollar. The benefits accumulate so slowly that they are practically unnoticeable on a day-to-day basis. This makes it incredibly difficult for our brain's reward system to connect the action with the positive outcome. On the other hand, the rewards for our bad habits are immediate. The pleasure of smoking a cigarette is instant. The distraction of checking your phone is instant. The comfort of junk food is instant. The costs, however, are all delayed. The risk of lung cancer, the wasted time, the poor health, these are problems that exist in the future. Because our brain is biased towards the present, it naturally overvalues immediate rewards and undervalues long-term consequences. This is why breaking a bad habit is so hard and building a good one feels like an uphill battle. We are fighting against our brain's natural tendency. Let's be honest, good habits often feel like work at the beginning. The very nature of a good habit is that it pays you back in the future. It's like a long-term investment. You put in the work today, but the real payoff doesn't arrive for months or even years. Imagine going to your job every day and being told your paycheck will arrive in 5 years. How motivated would you be to show up tomorrow? Not very. That is precisely the situation we create when we try to build habits like exercising, eating healthy, or meditating. We are asking our brain to work for an invisible paycheck that is far off in the distance. Consider the habit of going to the gym. The first few sessions are often the hardest. You feel sore, you might feel awkward, and you don't see any changes in the mirror. The cost is immediate and clear. Time, energy, and discomfort. The reward, being fitter, stronger, and healthier, is completely delayed. Your brain processes the immediate cost and concludes that this activity isn't very rewarding. It then tries to steer you away from it in the future. It whispers, "Let's just stay home today. It's more comfortable." This is why so many New Year's resolutions fail by February. The initial motivation fades, and there's no immediate reward to keep the behavior going. Now, contrast this with a habit that has an immediate reward, even if it's a bad one. Let's take eating a bar of chocolate. The moment it touches your tongue, your brain's pleasure centers light up. The reward is instant and powerful. The cost, the extra calories, the sugar crash later, is delayed. Because the reward comes first, the brain quickly learns to associate chocolate with pleasure, making you want to repeat the behavior. The entire feedback loop is completed in seconds. For good habits, that loop is broken. The action happens now, but the reward is missing, so the loop never closes. This is the central challenge we must overcome. To make a good habit stick, we have to find a way to attach an immediate reward to it. We need to give our brain a reason to feel good about the action right now, not in some distant future. If we can successfully bridge this gap, we can re-engineer the habit formation process. We can make the things that are good for us in the long run also feel good in the short run. By doing this, we are no longer fighting against our brain's nature. Instead, we are using its own reward-seeking system to build the life we want. If good habits don't have built-in immediate rewards, then we must create them ourselves. This is the secret to making hard habits attractive. The key is to find a way to celebrate your success the moment you complete the habit. The reward doesn't have to be big or elaborate. It just needs to be immediate and satisfying. It acts as a little pat on the back for your brain, telling it, "Good job, let's do that again tomorrow." This small artificial reward helps to close the feedback loop and solidifies the connection between the action and a positive feeling. Let's go back to the example of exercise. You finish a 30-minute workout, you're tired and sweaty. The long-term health benefits are still invisible. So you introduce an immediate reward. Perhaps you allow yourself to drink a delicious protein smoothie that you only have after workouts. Or maybe you get to take a long hot shower using your favorite expensive soap. It could even be as simple as putting a check mark on a calendar. The act of rewarding yourself right after the effort reinforces the behavior. Your brain starts to associate the workout not just with the pain of effort, but with the pleasure of the smoothie or the satisfaction of the check mark. This strategy can be applied to almost any habit. Trying to build a habit of writing for 15 minutes each day. Immediately after you finish, you could reward yourself with 5 minutes of guilt-free social media scrolling. Or perhaps you make yourself a perfect cup of tea or coffee, but only after your writing session is complete. The rule is simple. The reward must only come after you have performed the desired habit. This creates a powerful craving. Soon, you might find yourself looking forward to your writing session because it means you'll get that perfect cup of tea. The important thing is that the reward aligns with the person you want to become. For example, rewarding yourself with a giant bowl of ice cream after a workout might send a conflicting message. It's better to choose rewards that support your overall goals or are simply neutral pleasures. The goal isn't to cancel out your hard work. It's to give your brain a small, immediate incentive to repeat a positive action. By engineering these small moments of satisfaction, you can transform a difficult, boring habit into a delightful ritual that you genuinely look forward to each day. Creating rewards is not just about giving yourself treats. There are many other powerful ways to make your habits immediately satisfying. One of the most effective methods is habit tracking. The simple act of putting an X on a calendar each day you complete your habit can be incredibly rewarding. It creates a visual representation of your progress. As you see the chain of X's grow longer, you become more motivated to keep it going. The desire not to break the chain becomes its own reward. Each checkmark provides a small, immediate dose of satisfaction, confirming that you are the type of person who sticks to their commitments. Another powerful technique is called temptation bundling. This is where you pair an action you want to do with an action you need to do. For example, maybe you love listening to your favorite podcast or watching your favorite Netflix show. You can create a rule for yourself. I can only listen to this podcast while I'm on my daily walk, or I can only watch this show while I'm on the stationary bike at the gym. This strategy bundles the immediate reward of entertainment with the habit you are trying to build. You start to crave your workout because it's your opportunity to find out what happens next in the story. We are also deeply social creatures, and we can use this to our advantage. Adding a social element can make a habit immediately more rewarding. You can find an accountability partner, a friend or family member who is also trying to build a habit. A quick text message saying, "I did my workout," can provide an instant boost of satisfaction. The praise and encouragement you receive from someone else is a powerful reward. Joining a group, whether it's a running club or a book club, adds a layer of social expectation and community. You show up not just for yourself but for the group, and the feeling of belonging is a reward in itself. Finally, while the focus should be on rewards, there can be a small role for immediate punishments. This should be used carefully. A habit contract is one way to do this. You can make a pact with a friend that if you miss your habit, you have to pay them a small amount of money, like $10. The pain of losing that money is immediate and can be a strong motivator to get the task done. The key is that the punishment should be slightly painful, but not so severe that it creates a negative spiral. The goal is always to make the habit satisfying, and sometimes the satisfaction comes from avoiding a small, immediate cost. In the end, the journey of habit formation comes down to a simple truth. What is immediately rewarded is repeated. What is immediately punished is avoided. To build better habits, we must stop asking ourselves to be different people with superhuman willpower. Instead, we need to design our environments and our routines in a way that works with our human nature, not against it. We need to make the rewards for our good habits more immediate and the costs of our bad habits more obvious. The secret is not to want it more, but to make it easier and more satisfying to do. Think of it this way. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. A single workout won't transform your body, but it casts a vote for "I am a healthy person." A single page of writing won't finish your book, but it casts a vote for "I am a writer." The problem is that these votes can feel insignificant. By adding an immediate reward, you are celebrating that vote. You are making that small, positive identity statement feel good in the moment. This makes you more likely to cast another vote tomorrow and the day after that. Over time, these small votes add up to become a new identity. So start small. Pick one habit you want to build. Don't worry about changing your entire life overnight. Just focus on making that one habit satisfying. Do you want to floss your teeth every night? Reward yourself by using a delicious minty mouthwash right after. Do you want to meditate for 2 minutes a day? Reward yourself with a moment of quiet reflection with a cup of herbal tea. Find a small, immediate pleasure and attach it to the habit you want to build. Make it so easy and so enjoyable that you can't say no. This is how real, lasting change happens. Not through grand, heroic acts of discipline, but through small, smart adjustments to our daily routines. It's about making the right things the easy and satisfying things. You have the power to redesign your habits. You can learn to be the architect of your own behavior by understanding the simple power of an immediate reward. I've shared some of the strategies that have worked for me and for many others, but everyone's journey is unique. What rewards have you found to be most effective? What struggles have you faced? Share your experiences in the comments below. Your story might be the one that helps someone else finally make a new habit stick.